Hey guys! Welcome to my channel. Today I will recap a movie called The Silencing, which was released in 2020. So let's get into it without further delay. So sit back and enjoy this amazing mystery thriller. Rayburn Swanson is an alcoholic and owns the Gwen Swanson Sanctuary, which is named after his missing daughter. He sees some hunters trying to kill a deer in his sanctuary and asks them not to hurt any animals and to leave. He even takes away their guns with the promise that he will give them back the next day. Unfortunately, his truck won't start when he's about to return, and hunters refuse to give him life, so he has to walk back to his home in the woods. After coming back home, he greets his dog named Thor, and starts to do his normal household chores. Meanwhile, a sheriff named Alice finds her brother Brooke beaten again, as her colleague Carl tells her that this time they found him in an old factory. Alice asks about the blood on her brother, but Carl says that, according to him, he just tripped and nothing else happened. Some things were going on around that time, according to Carl, but nothing involving her brother. She is about to go when Carl says to her that she can't keep doing the favors as sooner or later her brother will be caught in something she will not be able to help with, but Alice ignores his words and goes away. In the car, she tries to ask Brooke why he was in that place last night, but Brooke says that it is none of her business. She then asks him if he is still taking his medicine and why there is blood on his clothes, to which Brooke says that he is taking his medication and there is blood on his clothes because someone named Sam Moonblood beat him because of a woman. He asks if she knows what Sam does, but when she refuses, he says that he and a creepy man named Olson push it all and do all kinds of bad things like drugs and gambling. After they reach his hotel, she bids him goodbye, saying that she will visit him later. Rayburn is at his house, printing a lot of missing person flyers for his daughter. Later, some students visit him in the sanctuary with their teacher, as they want to know about the jungle. One of the students says that he heard Rayburn kill a lot of animals. Rayburn accepts this and says he has done it, but he then stopped because his daughter didn't like it, and now he brings them from different places so they can live here peacefully. After the children go back, Rayburn goes into town and spreads flyers about his missing daughter all over the town. When he comes back home, his ex-wife and her new boyfriend, Carl, are waiting for him at his house. Rayburn asks them why they came here, to which his ex-wife says that she and Carl want to hold a funeral for Gwen, and for that, they need his signature. She says that it has been 5 years and he should move on because she doesn't want to do this without him, but Rayburn says that Gwen was his daughter too and they can't make a decision without him, and she can't replace Gwen with Carl's baby. His wife becomes enraged and states that she, too, misses her daughter and that she is requesting formality because he must sign it for the court to issue the death certificate. She goes away after telling him that they bought a beautiful place to hold the funeral, while he crumples and throws the paper away. When she is going back after dropping Brooke at his hotel, she receives a radio call saying that they have found a dead body at Buck Lake. After reaching the crime scene, Alice and her team examine the dead body and figure that it was dumped into the water about a week ago. They find a strange mark on the girl's neck, and after looking around in the jungle, they find a spearhead stabbed into a tree. Back at her office, she examines the spearhead and finds a mark on it saying MB. After that, she goes to meet her brother and gives him a picture of their childhood. She shows her regret for not helping her brother in childhood, and she should have adopted him, but Brooke says that she was too young at that time. Just as they are talking, Rayburn comes there after listening to the news that they found a dead body and asks Alice to show him the body because he wants to confirm if it is his daughter or not. He insists on going there immediately, so she says goodbye to her brother, and they go to check the body, but Rayburn is relieved to find that it is not his daughter. When Rayburn goes away, she asks her colleague about him, to which he says that he went through a lot after his daughter went missing. Later, Rayburn is sitting in a bar when Alice joins him. She says that she remembers hearing about the case of his daughter, as these cases are not normal here. She says that she is the sheriff and is looking at all the active cases, but Rayburn says that his daughter's case is far from active. The chances of finding someone after 24 hours are low, and he doesn't think she can do everything after 5 years. Rayburn is about to sign the paper his ex-wife gave him the next morning when his dog starts barking. When he goes to check, he finds a man wearing a ghillie suit stalking the woods. He takes out his gun and quickly goes out to find the man. He is looking around in the jungle when suddenly an arrow passes by his head. He tries to hide, but the next arrow hits him in the shoulder. When his car doesn't start during his escape attempt, he goes back into the jungle and finds a black truck. He marks a little X on the car and walks back home. When he observes the CCTVs again, he finds a girl running in the woods, trying to escape the man, so he goes back to the jungle again. He takes to paint with him, and when he senses the man near him, he throws the paint at him, making him easily recognizable. After that, he goes to drink water at a stream, where he notices the girl. He picks her up and brings her into an unused spike trap to spend the night. The girl is wary of him at first, but he assures her that he is not going to hurt her. When they settle in the trap, he finds that the girl is mute, and her name is Molly. Meanwhile, Alice goes to meet a man named Jim, who trades weapons, and shows him the spearhead. He tells her that it is the world's oldest weapon, known as Atlanta, and it is not legal to use. He shows her how dangerous the weapon is and says that it is designed to kill. He says that she can find the weapon at Sam Moon's, but he is very rude. She goes to an old place to find Sam, but instead, there is an old man who harshly talks with her. She asks about Atlanta and if Sam uses it, but the man says that Sam is a lot of things, but he is not a killer. She is about to go back when a girl approaches her and says that Moon Blood has a place over Sabal, and she will find Sam there. When she goes there, the place is empty, and instead, she finds her colleague Carl there. She informs him that Moon Blood traces can be found all over the case. The man asks her if Brooke uses Atlantis and shows her a picture of a girl who says someone saw Brooke getting handy with her, but Alice says that her brother can't do anything like that. The next morning, Rayburn carries the girl back to his place. As they take a break, Rayburn says that her parents will be happy to see her and tells her about his daughter. He shows her the picture of his daughter and asks if she recognizes her, but Molly refuses. When they return, he hears his dog whimpering, but they are attacked by the man from the jungle before they can do anything. Ray fights with the man, and Holly fires at him, but after the 2 bullets, the gun stops. The man stabs Holly in the stomach with the arrow while Rayburn is hiding behind a wall. Meanwhile, Alice goes to her brother's place, where she finds news stories about him. After that, she is in her car when she receives a radio call about Ray confiscating rifles, and they ask her to check it out. She reaches the place and finds Molly lying injured beside the wall. Ray comes out and warns Alice, as she is about to get attacked by the man. She quickly turns around and shoots the man in the leg. She notices the man snapping his fingers just like her brother, so she shoots Rayburn in the shoulder and asks Brooke to leave the place. Ray escapes the place, and as Alice searches for him, she steps on the bear and injures her foot. Rayburn calls an ambulance for Molly and goes to his ex-wife's place after that. He tells them that Alice shot him, and she is trying to protect her brother Brooks. They take him to the factory, an abandoned mill where the homeless stay, and on the way there, he apologizes for his earlier behavior. When they reach there, Carl calls Dr. Boone to take care of Rayburn. Carl goes out and points Brooks there, so he asks his wife to go back in the car and calls for backup. He chases Brooks and, after some struggle, catches him. Alice is at the hospital with Molly when she finds out about Brooks and goes to the station. Carl asks her why she shot Rayburn, but Alice says it was her county. Carl also tells him that her brother wants to come clean as he has something to show them. They reach an abandoned place, where they discover Sam Moonblood. Carl says to Alice that Brooks said he didn't know about Holly, and he believes him, but Alice will have to stay in place while she is part of the investigation. She meets her brother, but he says that he has nothing to do with those girls. Rayburn decides to throw away all his alcohol, except for the still unopened bottle he bought the day Gwen disappeared. He remembers the marked truck and finds it. After breaking into the house, he finds the same weapons and clothing worn by the killer and numerous missing posters, including one of his daughters. After finding the still living girl under a sheet with his throat surgically cut open, the killer appears and captures Rayburn by knocking him unconscious. Meanwhile, Alice notices a problem with Dr. Boone. While waiting for him in his office, she sees a photo of the doctor with his daughter Melissa wearing a necklace with the initials MB. Alice realizes Boone is the killer, and she immediately asks for backup to raid his house. In the same house, Rayburn had found Boone explains to Rayburn that he began kidnapping and killing teenage girls to save them from their bad parents, including Rayburn, while mourning the loss of his daughter, who was killed by a drunk driver. Boone takes Rayburn to the sanctuary and forces him to flee to hunt. Alice discovers Rayburn's surveillance. When Alice arrives, Rayburn overpowers Boone and beats him badly. She tries to stop Rayburn, but he ignores her and throws Boone into one of his spike traps, mortally wounding him. Alice watches as Rayburn locks up the doctor and tells her that they are equal. Later, she sits in her police car, listening to the radio about the ongoing search for Dr. Boone. Rayburn and his ex-wife hold Gwen's funeral, and Molly attends to give him closure. Afterward, he empties his last bottle of whiskey into the lake in memory of his daughter. Thanks for watching the recap. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss any content from us. Stay tuned for more thrilling and amazing movies. See you soon. Bye.